Aries, truth doesn't shout today. It only destroys the most elegant alibi. Don't trust tension by itself. Ask a fake calm, holding the knot still for something practical, verifiable, and present. Mars pushes into the home root emotional base sector, so courage must be measured, not let explode. It's a silence, an explanation that is too polished, a defense that looks like character. The hidden part asks for less control and more naming. That fake calm holding the knot still does not want to stay a script. For Aries, winning doesn't mean moving first. It means not letting impulse buy you. The stake is simple. Don't let an old defense govern a new choice. The loss is not feeling the uncomfortable point. It's spending another day defending the version that keeps you stuck. Move. Write the bare version of the problem. Then strip away the rhetoric that made it tolerable. Tomorrow will care whether you lied to yourself at the easiest point. Taurus. The useful kind of care today isn't soft because it's weak. It's exact because it has to survive pressure. If you shift the lens, a reserve of energy worth protecting stops looking like an obstacle and becomes a clear signal. Venus moves through the work method health zone, so attraction, measure, and dignity land in the same scene. It's an inner room that's too full. The right gesture isn't to push harder, but to remove friction. The tired part isn't sabotaging you. Inside a reserve of energy worth protecting, it's trying to keep the day from draining you past your limit. For Taurus, the day asks you not to use caution as a parking lot for the problem. The risk is getting to evening still functioning on the outside, while making decisions that are already empty on the inside. If you keep forcing that reserve, the price can show up as the wrong tone, a snap response, or exhaustion running the whole show. Move. If you feel the limit, honor it right away with one practical act instead of postponing it until night. Save it before the part of you that can't take any more has to answer. Gemini. If a clarity that depends on recovery is asking for space, listen before it has to raise its voice. If it keeps returning, it isn't random. It's the echo of a choice that never got answered. The sun illuminates the home root emotional base sector, so what was once on the edge now asks for center stage and responsibility. It's a quieter room, a notification left outside, a body that stops negotiating. Concrete care has little theater and a lot of effect. Lower the noise before it turns into the command. Today's real loss would be sacrificing good clarity just to save urgencies that are not all yours. For Gemini, the day improves when understanding becomes a decision you can read. If you keep forcing that need, the price can show up as the wrong tone, a snap response, or exhaustion running the whole show. Move. Do less in the right place, so the important choice still belongs to you. Come back here before you hand urgency the part of you that should have stayed lucid. Cancer. Today, shadow shows itself through a sentence you feel the need to explain too well. The signal doesn't shout. You see it in the way an alibi that has lost its elegance changes your posture, tone, or pace. Mercury brings nerve into the words exchanges close environment field. Understanding isn't enough. You need to say it cleanly. It's a silence, an explanation that is too polished, a defense that looks like character. The more you try to stay lucid without feeling, the more an alibi that has lost its elegance finds a way to be heard. For Cancer, protecting everyone gets expensive when you lose your center at the exact point that matters. The risk is protecting your apparent consistency while leaving untouched the one point that quietly drains you. If that point stays unnamed, tomorrow it will speak louder and with less grace. Move. Write the sentence you've been avoiding, then remove the sharp edge and keep the true part. Save it for when a justification returns, dressed up as clarity. Leo. Power starts with naming the price before the discomfort does. This isn't theory. A willingness that risks becoming debt touches the way you protect time, desire, boundaries, or dignity. The sun's movement brings the resources money value axis into focus. You need a choice you can actually sustain. It's the moment when time and money speak the same language. Limit, measure, confirmation. For Leo, pride only helps if it leaves room for the real choice. If nobody names the bill, a willingness that risks becoming debt can turn into the usual advantage of whoever pushes hardest. Today's real loss isn't seeming rigid. It's giving away value without even naming it. If that margin stays implied, the cost doesn't disappear. It only shifts from the number to your availability. Move. Name the cost, time, or limit the moment you feel the discomfort rise. Keep this close. Unspoken value almost always works against the person who stays silent. Virgo. Don't pay with presents just because talking about price makes you uncomfortable. The cut doesn't end life. It ends the point that kept eating direction. Mercury brings exchange into the identity-body-presence axis. If you only hear half the sentence, you may decide on reflex. It's a practical scene that can look technical, but it's really measuring your ability to shape value. Here, practical boundaries protect dignity. Don't let a measure nobody has declared yet depend only on politeness. The stake is simple. Don't let social or emotional discomfort set the price in place of your judgment. For Virgo, the day improves when you stop using clarity as protection from action. If a measure nobody has declared yet stays implicit, the cost doesn't disappear. It just moves from the number to your availability. Move. Write the price, the time, and the limit. Confirm only what stays clean. Keep this close when a price looks small, but it takes up too much space. Libra. For Libra, the resource to protect isn't only money, it's position. The useful threshold is the one you can cross today, not the one you imagine when everything is clear. Venus on the identity-body-presence axis opens contact, but also the most uncomfortable question: how much are you giving just to feel chosen? It's the point where value stops being theory and asks for a simple, verifiable sentence. Material reality also speaks power today. A promise that needs measure shows who decides the value of your presence. For Libra, kindness matters more when it doesn't erase scale. The stake is knowing whether you truly want to be generous or just want to avoid the uncomfortable moment of clarity. If you leave a promise that needs measure vague, someone will use that gap to their own advantage. Move. Separate the wish for peace from the actual price, then decide which one you can sustain. Come back here before you give, out of politeness, what actually needs measure, a number or a limit. Scorpio. Today, shadow becomes useful only when it stops speaking from behind and finally takes a precise name. It's an emotional or practical detail that feels irritating only because it touches a defense that has become habit. Don't widen the scene too much. One person, one sentence, one gesture, and a fear dressed up as clarity becomes readable. Mercury puts the intimacy shared resources transformation field under a microscope. One precise word can prevent an entire chain of misunderstandings. The more you make distance sound noble, the more a fear dressed up as clarity proves that the real point is still steering you. For Scorpio, coolness only helps if it brings you closer to the truth, not if it hides it better. The stake is giving an honest name to the point you would rather keep explaining well. If the truth underneath stays unnamed, tomorrow it will speak louder and with less grace. Move. Don't react just to avoid feeling. Pause long enough to choose from the more honest side. Pass this to whoever needs to take the voice out of an alibi before it becomes character. Sagittarius. If an invitation lights you up, don't confuse the spark with the choice. Saturn activates desire, creativity, and pleasure. The choice can't stay on autopilot. Keep the scene narrow. One invitation, one spark, one confirmation you should not chase. This is the invitation that turns something on. It looks like freedom, but it immediately asks for confirmation. The instant effect calls loudly. The living part doesn't need to buy approval. The spark isn't the problem. It becomes one when you chase the effect and lose your center. Feeling chosen is sleet. Letting that feeling take the wheel today is too expensive. For Sagittarius, the wide yes is tempting. Today, freedom comes from a written limit. Who's really driving? Desire or the need to feel chosen? The strong move is to feel the spark without handing it the wheel. Choose one alive gesture. The rest can wait off stage. Move. Listen again before saying yes just for confirmation. If it irritates you, it probably touches the point. Capricorn. Today, a short decision is worth more than a perfect explanation. The knot isn't huge, but it is precise. A commitment that needs to get moving again decides how lucid you stay in the scene. The sun's light on the work, method, health sector makes the command of the scene clear. Now you can choose whether to take it or endure it. It's an almost banal operational tension, which is exactly why it's dangerous. You postpone it and let the tone steer. As long as you keep watching, a commitment that needs to get moving again feels bigger. Once you choose the first step, it loses power. The risk is staying loyal to an orderly version of the problem while life asks for action. For Capricorn, real strength also includes the moment you say where your margin ends. The real loss is training yourself once more to endure well what should have been moved. Move. Do right away what lowers noise and ambiguity, even if it doesn't make you look perfect. Keep this close where fear tries to look like method. Aquarius. If you keep treating a block to move like a detail, today you may hand it the whole steering wheel. The day leaves you two doors open. One keeps peace for an hour, the other keeps respect for the real point. With the sun active, the desire, creativity, pleasure field stops staying on the edge and becomes the point from which everything else is read. It's the place where the day doesn't show you the whole problem, only the first piece you can actually move. As long as you keep watching, a block to move seems bigger. Once you choose the first step, it loses power. The real loss would be giving the block control again and calling it caution. For Aquarius, intuition has value only when it lands and takes shape. If the needed move waits any longer, tomorrow the same thing will take more force. Move. Take the smallest piece that creates real movement and do it before it turns back into theory. Save this if today you need a reminder that the block lives mostly off your well-explained delay. Pisces. Today's love signal isn't sweet. It's precise and maybe uncomfortable. No preparation needed. A closeness that speaks of roots is already on the table, and the sky asks you to read it without tricks. The sun signs off on the home root emotional base sector, so what you do now says more than what you explain. The heart isn't looking for a fairy tale. It wants to know whether a closeness that speaks of roots can hold an honest sentence. It's the point where someone lights you up, but the sky asks you not to hand them the wheel. For Pisces, the risk is sensing the point clearly and still leaving it shapeless out of softness. The stake is simple. Don't let yourself be chosen just because you're afraid of not being seen. If you chase confirmation, the heart may feel alive, but the choice gets poorer. Move. Make the choice that protects both the heart and the boundary, not only one of them. Save it before you confuse presence with the need for reassurance.